For more information on today's program, contact Erica Taylor Montgomery at threegirlsmedia.com. Now, back to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy, on the Bay Area's business leader, AM 1220 KDOW.
Good morning and welcome back to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on 1220 AM KDOW, the Wall Street Business Network. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and in the round 2 of Punch today, we are going to be talking about Twitter. Should you tweet or should you not tweet for your business? And since we're going to be talking about Twitter, I thought for the Punch Marketing Minute that I would share 4 common social media mistakes. You know, social media has become the way to promote and market your brand, but in the rush to join the social media craze for their businesses, I think some companies are making some critical mistakes. So these are 4 common mistakes that could hurt you on social media and how you should avoid them. Mistake number 1, not having a plan. You know, far too many companies jump on the social media bandwagon with absolutely no plan or even no idea of what they're really doing. They grab somebody who knows a little bit about a platform and throw them into the deep end with no training or no focus, and I'm telling you that rarely works. Social media is like any other marketing or publicity campaign. It has got to have focus and it needs direction. So take some time to figure out where and how you should be directing your social media efforts. Pick a platform that is going to be appropriate for your product or service, and then find someone who is experienced to manage your social media. Mistake number 2, grammar and spelling. They absolutely count. If you think that writing in slang or misspelling words or making grammar mistakes are not a big deal in social media updates, think again. If you are constantly making mistakes, I think you're going to lose trustworthiness in front of your audience. My tip, make sure to check all of your posts at least 3 times for errors before you put them up for the world to see. And I think that reading your updates backwards will help you find errors that you may have otherwise missed. Mistake number 3, it is not all about you. Believe it or not, social media is not all about you or your business. Have you ever been to a cocktail party where you ended up stuck talking to somebody who is so self-absorbed that you just roll your eyes at them? Well, I'm telling you that social media is kind of like that. You need to be gracious, genuinely interested, and you should not dominate the conversation. And if somebody leaves you a comment, make sure to respond and foster that relationship. My tip is to follow what I call the 80-20 rule of social media posting, meaning that 80% of your updates should provide some kind of value to your readers, such as helpful information, advice, or entertainment. And then 20% of your updates can be self-promotional, talking about your products and services and directing readers to your website. But social media is not meant to hard sell your fans. It's a soft sell approach in which you gain that following by providing interesting content and occasional self-promotional posts. And mistake number 4, give credit where credit is due. You know, one surefire way to lose connections is to share or to use content without providing proper attribution. The purpose of social media is to connect with others and to grow your network. And by borrowing content and not attributing it to the author, you are losing an opportunity to make yourself known as an advocate of their cause. That is how influencer relationships are built. And the more you are on the radar, the more people are going to see your page as the go-to spot for information. You know, a proper social media campaign can really mean the difference between a successful online presence and one that is not. And by following those 4 simple tips, you can start to create an online community that is going to help your brand grow. This has been the Punch Marketing Minute on 1220 AM KDOW, and it is time for round 2 of Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy, where we help educate you and deliver that total knockout with your PR, your marketing, and your social media. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and I'm the CEO of 3 Girls Media and Marketing Inc., which is a public relations and social media marketing agency agency that specializes in working with small and mid-sized companies with very cost-effective solutions. You can find my agency online at threegirlsmedia.com. That's threegirlsmedia.com. And, I do offer a complimentary 30-minute consultation where we can talk specifically about your PR and social media needs and goals. And if you'd like to set that consultation up, it's very easy to do. Simply visit threegirlsmedia.com and either call or email me to make that appointment for your consultation today. So in round 2 today, we are covering to tweet or not to tweet, how to use Twitter for your business. Our guest this half hour has been on Punch before talking about Facebook, and I'm excited to have Lee Lonitz, founder of Design for Sight, back on the show. Lee is a social media coach and strategist, and he's also an avid user of Twitter. And Lee's a popular public speaker. He gives regular talks and workshops and seminars all around the Bay Area. Lee, welcome back to Punch Media and Marketing Made Easy.
Thank you very much, Erica. It's great to be back here again.
Great to have you. And I'm sure that our listeners are going to have questions about Twitter today. So I want to make sure I give out the toll-free number. You can reach us live this morning at 800-516-1220. That's 800-516-1220. So Lee, let's start with the absolute basics. I think that most people know that Twitter is a social networking platform, but I think that there's a lot of people who aren't using Twitter that don't really understand what it is or how to use it, because it is really different when it comes to a social networking platform. So can you describe Twitter?
So Twitter in a nutshell is what we call a microblogging service. It's where anybody with a Twitter account can go to Twitter and post a message up to 140 characters. And then when they send it off, anybody who can view their Twitter page in the entire world can see what they posted. I like to call it kind of like the digital equivalent of text messaging, where your text message is ironically about 140 characters. So Twitter is kind of like the online form of text messaging, where you can basically say anything that you want to say to the entire world and kind of broadcast that out.
And do you need to have a Twitter account in order to see messages on Twitter?
No, actually, you do not need to have an actual account. As long as your account is public, anybody can see it. So you do need to have a Twitter account to actually post a message to Twitter.
But you don't have to have an account to view messages on Twitter.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. So do you think it's important for all businesses to be on Twitter, or is it something only some businesses should be using?
Well, like you were mentioning during the Social Media Marketing Minute, one of the important things to have at hand is a strategy. And so for people who are thinking about using Twitter for their business, I always sit down and ask them, okay, well, what is the goal that you want to accomplish using Twitter? Is it to create a community around your brand on this social network? Is it to provide incentives for people to follow you on Twitter? Is it to give away something to somebody? Is it to educate? So it all basically depends on the nature of the business. So businesses that rely on interactions that are time sensitive and quick, for example, like airlines, they're constantly posting deals on Twitter, or perhaps restaurants as well who want to give out promos and deals, using Twitter very rapidly and very widely. Those are businesses that will, definitely benefit from Twitter. But ultimately, it comes down to what's your strategy, and let's see how, we can make Twitter work for it.
Let's talk about demographics, because each different social networking platform seems to have a core demographic that uses it. What would you say are the core demographics of a Twitter user?
A lot of Twitter users are actually, we think of social media like Facebook, for example, as being dominated by, the youngest generation. But these days, a lot of entrepreneurs are actually using Twitters. You've got a whole wide spectrum from just somebody who, the entrepreneur to business coaches to even celebrities. So it pretty much spans the entire gamut.
So you wouldn't say that there's a particular age group, for example, that uses Twitter the most?
Offhand, I'm not quite sure, but, from what my experience has been, I've seen people across the entire spectrum, mostly like people between like 20s to the 50s, right there, men and women. A lot of women I've noticed you have used Twitter. It's fast, and, you can, like we talked about at the very beginning, anybody who can view your Twitter page, can get the information quickly.
Yeah, and I've actually found in my research that women are actually skew a little bit higher in terms of Twitter usage than men do. So a few more women using the platform than men.
Yeah, I would lean that way too.
Yeah, very, very interesting. All right, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about what you should not post on Twitter. And we're also going to dive into hashtags, exactly what they are and how to use them effectively. That's coming up after the break on Punch Media and Marketing Made Easy. This is 1220 AM KDOW, the Wall Street Business Network. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and we'll be right back after the break.